Last Thing He Wanted is directed by Dee Rees. It stars Ben Affleck, Anne Hathaway, and Willem Dafoe. The movie's about Anne Hathaway. She's a presidential campaign reporter, and her father's an arms dealer, but he gets in some trouble and she needs to help him, so he asks her, hey, will you help me do this? This is a final promise and a wish of mine. Can you help me do this deal? She agrees to it, so she gives up her reporting on the presidential campaign that's happening. That's basically the plot of the film. And as for the trailers aren't manipulating you, but what they actually do is they package everything into a nice Twix bar, and then when you bite into it, it's just a New York Mint. So what they do is they just make it more exciting than it is by showing you all the good stuff, but it's still pretty bland. It's not as good as it looks. And since this is a straight-to-Netflix film, I do want to say Ben Affleck is in it, Anne Hathaway is in it, and you figure with that star power you'd have a much stronger script. I figure something like this would have a better pace to it, especially with the cast involved. And if you're a Ben Affleck fan, I'm not trying to spoil anything to you, but if you are, I am going to warn you that he's only in this film for a maximum of 20 minutes. And if it wasn't for Anne Hathaway, because I think she's a great actress and she proves in this why she's a great actress, but if she wasn't in this movie, I would have honestly shut it off. It's just not very engaging. And it's sad to say that due to the cast that's involved in the film, but it's just kind of just slow. It's 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're here, and then she's wanting to talk to her dad, and then she's going to help the arms dealers, and then the arms dealers betray this person. They try to make it overly complicated and smart, and it's more just boring the way they present everything. It's just hard to kind of be interested in what's going on because you really just don't care what is happening in front of you. You're just kind of like, oh man, it's almost over. And here's what's crazy about that is the ending of this movie is actually really good. Like the last 15 minutes is solid. I was like, okay, well here's what's going on. But that's because everything was coming to an end and you get a little more interested, but by then it's over. So sadly the movie's not very interesting, it's not very engaging, but it had a very solid ending to it. I gotta give it credit for that. And the cinematography was great, of course, and set location and all that, but as the storyline itself, it's not something you're gonna like really thrive to watch. You're gonna find this one painfully boring, and you're gonna find yourself playing with your phone. I'm not gonna lie, I did that a couple times, and I had to rewind a few parts to figure out what was going on, what I missed, and then when I paid attention to it, I was like, oh, I didn't really miss anything. So I'm not going to recommend this movie. I don't recommend you even watch it because it's free on Netflix. It's really not engaging. If you're a hardcore Anne Hathaway fan, then maybe check it out because she does make the movie better, because if it wasn't for her, I would have never finished it. I'm going to grade The Last Thing He Wanted a D+. You will not like it. I don't think you will. If you don't, you did enjoy it, let me know in the comments below. I'm kind of curious of what you found engaging about it. I'd actually be very curious about that if you enjoyed it. Also, if you're a Ben Affleck fan, like I said, he's only in it for 20 minutes, so don't expect a lot out of him from this. Well, thanks for tuning in for another review, guys. I have more coming up like always, and you'll be very interested on the next review. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to be surprised, but I have seen it already, and it's good. So look forward to that review, and I'll catch you movie fans on that review.